What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It really has. Um, I've been dealing with some health things, trying to get my health together. My body upgraded during that medical medium cleanse significantly, and your girl tried to dabble back in some foods and one glass of wine, and that took me out. So there's just certain things I can't eat and take in at this time. And I wanted to deliver a message for y'all, and I hope that this is a positive message for you, and that you whatever you take from this is just positive, and that I can, sprinkle some light over to your way, okay? Because right now it's a little challenging, okay? There's a transitional period. A lot of people are coming out of winter and coming into spring, okay? So you might be feeling like I need to make some changes. Okay, that's where I'm right now too. I need to make some changes. You may already be thinking about changes you want to make. You may already be starting those changes, whatever. But changes are coming. Now, that being said, first and foremost, congratulations on making a positive change in your life, because it's not easy. Not everybody does it. Some people stay stuck, they stay right where they're at, and they're happy with that. They tell themselves that they're happy there, okay? So making a change in your life is a big deal. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. And congratulations. And I'm proud of you, okay? Now, that being said, you made positive change in your life. Listen, you will be tested. Period. So might as well just welcome in the tests now. I don't like waiting for tests. I said, bring in the challenge now, so that I don't have to wait and anticipate. But I know that sometimes, these things just don't work out like that, and sometimes it catches you off guard, right? Because if you was like always prepared, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can that be a true test of your strength and will? Okay, and I find that a lot of my challenges I have faced was when I'm already being in a challenged position. Like, I'm already in a position where I'm like, dang, one more thing, and then another challenge happens, and I'm like, oh. But it's not a negative thing. Challenges are not negative things. That's a way that the universe can test us. Do you really want this change? Is this really something that you want to make happen in your life? And knowing when you make changes that it is a difficult thing. We are people of habits. And so whatever habits we have to consciously and use our intention on creating habits and breaking habits, okay? And it takes like 30 days to even solidify a habit. So give yourself some grace when you're making changes in your life. Okay? You may have setbacks, okay? And what I want to tell you about setbacks is setbacks are not a sign of failure. Setbacks are not, I don't even like the term setback, because it's too implying that you're going backwards, and you're not going backwards. Okay? Sometimes when you make positive changes, you may experience, and I apologize if I'm coming off a little strong today, because I kind of have that like about me lately, because I'm tired of certain things going on in my life, and I really am ready for change, and I'm using a lot of this fuel to fuel that change. But like I was saying, back to what I was saying, setbacks are not a sign of failure. They're not a sign of regression. Setbacks are a sign of you're working towards success. Okay, sometimes we get so caught up that we're like, oh, I'm making a positive change, and positive things are just going to be positive, positive, positive. Like, no, listen, man, sometimes when you make changes, you get hit with a lot of really tough challenges, and that is shaping you in the process. And not only that, but like how I went through my health thing, and my health was like real high, like it was at a peak, okay? And I ate something that I wasn't supposed to eat, took in something in my body I wasn't supposed to take in. So I had a bit of a setback. But I don't look at it as a setback. I look at it as a step forward. Okay? And there's a lot of things, like if you decide this is my dream, I'm going to do it. It's not always going to be like a smooth path there. Like, there are going to be obstacles along the way. And so that's why I'm telling you this, is so you don't get discouraged when a perceived setback happens. It's not about not having setbacks. It's not about not making mistakes. It's about acknowledging it, giving yourself grace, and then continuing on your path. And the image that I like to reflect on is, when a horse races or not even racing, but when they're walking and stuff, and they have those little things on the side of their eyes, and it blocks their peripherals, so they can't see nothing in their peripherals. They're focused. Okay, that's kind of how you have to be when you make certain kind of changes, depending on the change and how much you need to be involved in that change. A lot of the times it's very involved. So what I'm saying is, try to be as focused as possible. Don't look at what's happening over here. Don't look at what's happening over there. Don't get so hung up on, oh, I should have did this better. I should have did this whatever long ago. Yeah, if you need to grieve some things, go ahead. That's not a setback, okay? That's just all part of the process. And so that's, have compassion for yourself throughout this process. Now, if you are seeing signs around you, say you're seeing an animal that just keeps popping up for you, I want you to look up the animal, spirit animal. Just look up, like, for instance, hawk, spirit animal, or hawk symbolism, and look into it and see. Don't just click one website and just take word for word. No. Find multiple websites and kind of see what information is resonating with you, okay? And if it don't resonate, it don't resonate. But what I find is when I'm going through transitional periods, certain symbols and animals will start calling out to me, and that is spiritual support. Okay? And I'm telling you this because a lot of times when we make changes, it's lonely. It is. And I'm not ever going to sugarcoat that. There have been times in my life that loneliness has, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't want to say broke my heart, but it hurt my heart physically. Like, there have been points in my life that I was so lonely that my heart hurt. And I'm not, like, normalizing that. I'm not saying that, like, that's a good thing. I'm not. I have a lot of strong feelings around the isolation that people feel in society, but that's not what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm trying to get at here is that when you make changes, you may be making those changes by yourself. Most of the time, you will be making those changes by yourself. And you may want people to come with you, but it don't be working out like that most of the time. From my experience, there's most of the time people are resistant to change, and so when you start changing things, it can trigger people. Okay, it can trigger people's insecurities. It can trigger people's like if they have like controlling type energy and they're in your space and they want to control you, like it can be triggering to people to make those changes. So what I'm getting at is just expect to be doing some things by yourself. Okay, and spending time with yourself and getting to know yourself and asking ourselves, like, is you good? Like, what are some boundaries that need to be put in place in my life so that I can feel more supported while I'm trying to make positive changes in my life? Okay, and boundaries within itself is a change, and expect a lot of resistance when it comes to boundaries. Not everybody will have resistance, and sometimes resistance within itself to a boundary can be a clear indication that that's not a good person to have in your life. If you set a boundary and they're pushing on it, is not really like a positive thing. Okay, what I've learned is I set the boundary. I look at boundaries kind of like a border. Okay, say you are a country, and some countries have open borders, some countries have closed borders. And don't take this so literal, okay? I understand there's a lot of political sensitivities or whatever. We're not getting into none of that shit. Anyways, like I said, pretend that you're a country and somebody wants to invade your country. And I'm not talking about like assault or anything. I'm just talking about like, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just talking about boundaries, okay? I'm not talking about assault. So I'm talking about like, okay, the way I look at it is like, you're a country. You have your boundaries. You say, okay, I don't want you in my country. So then these people, they either say, okay, that's fine. We'll go over here. Or they'll say, what? And they'll keep testing it. Well, can I get in over here? And then you're like, no, you can't get over there. I told you I don't want you in my country. And then they try again. So now you have to have an even thicker boundary where it's like, you either back up out of my country or we going to have a battle here. Okay? And I know this is like kind of extreme. I kind of wish I would have picked a different. I've been watching Lioness on Paramount Plus, so it's just a little like fresh in my mind. So, anyways, especially season 2, I've been watching that. So that's what I'm trying to say is like there's a process to even having boundaries. Like sometimes you have to be like no, and then no, and then absolutely not. You know, some people will test boundaries and you have to consistently keep placing the boundary. Otherwise, they will not acknowledge that there's a boundary there. Okay, I hope that last sentence cleared it up because that was a little confusing at first. I apologize. But yeah, no, seriously. Boundaries while you're making changes is important because let me tell you guys something, man. Let me tell y'all, I've made some big ass changes in my life. Big. And I'm telling you what, the type of shit that I have had to deal with by making positive changes in my life is crazy. Crazy. There's not gonna be no woohoo unless if you got some like real dope ass people in your circle who are, you know, supporting you. And like now I'm at that point, you know, I can make positive changes now and I get that woohoo. But back in the day, no, man. So that's all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to normalize a lot of things because when you're making changes, expect some things, okay? And this is not to scare you. This is to prepare you, okay? Just be prepared. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just preparation. Preparation is key. Don't be fluffing up your feathers. We don't need to stand on guard. We don't need to have our armor and our swords up. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is be mindful of ourselves and be mindful of things that may be distracting us or maybe deterring us away from the goals that we have set in mind. Okay? And at this time period, you know, maybe writing out some goals would be a beneficial thing. And maybe writing out some changes that you want to make or writing a letter to yourself of like why, you know, some things that you want to do for yourself and why you want to do them. But nevertheless, I just I'm proud of you for making those changes. And I am happy that people are making changes. I love change. I love it. I love change. The image that I was getting is like you know, when you're growing and you're healing and it's kind of like a flower. And you know when the flower comes out of the ground and it just starts rising and you know you's the type of person that like you're supposed to keep rising for a while, kind of like a sunflower, you know what I'm saying, like keep rising, keep blooming. And you know some people like they might grow a little bit and then just decide, well, this is it for me. And I've seen that happen. I had some sunflowers last year, man. They didn't grow all the way to the top and it was weirdly weird looking. They was looking kind of weird. And they struggled and they had a short life. So I don't know like what kind of like, you know, symbolism that is, but I'm just saying like there's a lot of richness that comes with making positive changes. There's a lot of richness that comes with going through the challenges of growth and expansion. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So, all that being said, I love you and I am super proud of you. And you will achieve those things. And like I said, if a setbacks happen, don't be hard on yourself, okay? It's not a backwards, okay? It's just moving forward, okay? Some of these things they just happen along the way. It's okay. Sometimes you trip on a rock, you get back up and you keep walking. Okay? All right, guys. I will keep y'all in touch and be safe out here. Chill out, have fun, lighten up and you know, lighten up. Like I was watching something today that this lady was talking about lightening up and I was like, "You know what? That's true." Like, and I think sometimes we just all taking so much shit so serious because it's so tough. But you have to remember that, like, we can't get stuck in the toughness of it all. Like, we have to find ways to be silly. We have to find ways to play. We have to find ways to, have enough love within us that we can love a stranger too. Okay? And you know what? That within itself really burns away a lot of that isolating feeling. And naturally, we start to pull in people that are making positive changes in their lives too. So don't fall into perfection. You're just human, and you're a lovely human at that. And I'll talk to you next time.